Is this the beginning of the end? Robert Kiyosaki says this might just be ushering in the worst time ever in US economic history. 200 years ago, no one was impacted by a stock market crisis in England. But right now, look at the rippling disaster that follows with every misstep in the United States. How do we keep our income safe in an economy battered by inflation and a looming recession? What if there was an asset which is much better to invest during this inflation? Well, you're in luck, because today we discuss Robert Kiyosaki's predictions and the best option we should all buy. We've never been in this situation before, but shrewd investors know where to look when it comes to making money in market crashes. In fact, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad author makes more money off market crashes than in a comfortable bull market. Right now, the US and the world are both in decline. Everything seems to be going wrong. The average person is bracing up for more pain, as Kiyosaki fears we're headed for a global depression. When the economy stays down, it's hard to come back up. On the other hand, the good news is that whoever is prepared for it will do better still. The best-selling author and financial expert notes that during the 2008 financial crisis, he appeared on Wolf Blitzer's program. He predicted the collapse of Lehman Brothers 6 months in advance, and it did. Although most Americans are ignorant and don't know what's going on, he claims he had been anticipating the crash for some time. Kiyosaki recently returned from a trip to Africa, and he's been to China, Japan, and New Zealand. What you would notice is that people are scared. Australia has had the worst recession in 30 years. The financial guru predicts that there will be a great deal more of suffering, he foretells. Kiyosaki says the crisis also has a lot to do with the world's fiat system. He makes it clear that no fake money ever survived, and that the US dollar is fake. He said, "We're doing the same thing. We just keep printing this money, and when I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad almost 25 years ago, people said I didn't know what I was talking about, I said savers would be losers. Nowadays, there's quantitative easing, which is counterfeiting money, and then you have zero interest rates, and people are still saving money. Are you nuts? They just print it. I think it's $500 billion in September, because the market is going down." He states that it's all fake money used to buy fake assets and taught by fake teachers. In the book he co-authored with Edward Seidler, Who Stole My Pension, they point out the gaps that have been exploited in ripping retirees off. The average firefighter has about $1.2 million in pension. That's how much they will be paid. But there's nothing there. It's a problem, meaning they don't have the money to pay the benefits that were stolen by Wall Street. So that's why I wrote this book. By 2052, the retirees will be above the age of 60. What was the stat you said about okay in 10 years? By 2030, 2 billion baby boomers across the world will retire. But Japan's broke, Argentina's broke, China's broke, Italy's broke, Germany's broke. And all these old guys are retiring. Just like the situation of both dads of Kiyosaki and Seidler, who lost everything. Kiyosaki reveals that his dad lost everything when he was in his 20s. Kiyosaki's father ran for political office against the governor of Hawaii in those days, and he got crushed. So the governor says, no job, no paycheck, no pension, and his old man ended up broke. He was nearly ruined and vowed that nobody would ever rip him off like his father was. Ever. When Kiyosaki came back from Vietnam in 1973, he met his father, the poor dad, unemployed. Still, his father advised him to fly for United Airlines for job security, and then go back to school to get another degree, master's, PhD, and all, so he would go way up in the pecking order. But there was no way Kiyosaki was going to do that. Not after all he had seen. Here is his dad, unemployed with no pension and no paycheck, yet he advises his son to take the path that placed him in this position where he could be exploited like this. Kiyosaki indicates that anytime he goes back to meet his school pals and buddies who flew for United Airlines, they're broke today, and their pensions have been stolen. As for Edward Seidler, his father was a CIA operative in Uganda, and Idi Amin killed his father, so his family went broke because there was no support anymore, and life became much tougher. But when he became an SEC attorney, he got sick and tired of seeing all these bankers loot the pensions and get paid bonuses. Then the labor union guys who manage the funds get paid bonuses, and the guys who handle stuff also get paid bonuses. Meanwhile, the workers get screwed. Why has everyone been mute on this? Kiyosaki says Americans live in a fishbowl. Everyone can see what is in, but Americans can't see out. He travels the world constantly, and what he sees going on in the world is disturbing. He traveled to Argentina not quite long ago. He states that what happens in Argentina is going to happen here in the United States. So the fear today is that people no longer remember the 2008 crisis or the dot-com bubble of the late 90s. But on the other hand, the best time to start a business is right after a crash. Think about all the bargains that are going to be on the streets. It's going to be bargains everywhere. So when this next crash comes, it's going to be horrible. It reveals that he always protects his assets so that they're cash-proof. He said, "The average person's watching this right now saying, okay, Robert, I'm not like you. I don't run a company, I don't have a brand, I haven't sold 41 million copies, I don't have oil, I don't have rental properties. What can I do? In a time like this, you're telling me the market's going to go in shambles?" Yes, and pretty soon too, because of the state of the currency. We printed $500 billion of money in September, just in 1 month, not including the $3 trillion we printed in the last 7 years. So what do I do to be prepared for a time like this? Everybody can do something, but they won't, and that's the problem. Kiyosaki indicates that his first investment was a gold coin in Hong Kong. He states, "I was flying off an aircraft carrier in Vietnam, and I went to Hong Kong, and I bought a gold coin. The date was 1972, but that gold coin today is worth almost $2,000. The one gold coin, yeah, and I still haven't told you what I'd pay for it. $50 to then $2,000, 1972. I just sat there. So I have milk and so I never, because I understand money that, quantitative counterfeiting and zero interest rates. I don't trust the dollar, so for most of my life I've saved gold and silver. So I have millions in gold coins and silver coins. I just kept saving it because I don't trust the dollar, so everybody can buy a silver coin today for $20 a silver. Gold, silver, $20. But how many people will go to a coin shop and buy it? Probably none. Less than 0.1% of Americans own precious metals, and silver today is 50% below its all-time high. So silver is the biggest bargain, sitting in the market as we speak today. It's about $20. It should go to 50, so at $20, you can own precious metals. That's the problem, so everyone can afford $20. Kids can afford $20, and you know that too when dealing with people. But most people are just pretty sedentary. They want to do the same old thing. They're happy nothing's going to happen. Trump's stock market was an all-time high, but so is our debt right now. People watch the stock market, but they don't watch the debt and the repo market, the repurchase market, which is one of the biggest markets in the world. The Fed is bailing that one out now, so the average American is watching the stock market, but not what's really going on. In fact, Warren Buffett bought $35 million of silver, so be prepared because something's about to happen. That's right. If he buys gold, just be ready. In the next 6, 12 to 24 months, he's anticipating some kind of a crash to be taking place. He's right now in cash because that's smart. Yeah, he's anticipating something to happen to buy up businesses and rebuild them. He does that all the time, and then he's going to go in after the crash. He's going to cash in on them after the crash. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Feel free to check out our other videos. See you next time.